Nowadays we get bombarded with content. Everybody has seen the phrase, "Is this the new track of the summer? Is this the new track of the winter?" I think every DJ, including me, has tried this and failed miserably. Of course, for a few exceptions. We all hate to make content, but we all need to make content. The desire of going viral is insane. But because of that, everybody's trying to put out content and making sort of an oversaturation of music. And that results in people thinking there is no real music anymore. I think it's time to dive into the struggle that every artist or musician has with TikTok, Instagram, social media as a whole, and see what we can learn from it. Of course, we cannot deny that TikTok has a major impact on the music industry. Many artists have been complaining about the music industry being over-reliant on TikTok and that it's hurting artists. For example, when I send an email from, "Yo, do you want to sign this track?" I got back that they didn't like it. But when it went viral on social media, all of a sudden I got all the emails from, "Yo, we want to sign it, blah, 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 blah." That's strange, right? I get it from a business perspective. Labels need to make money, but it's all about signing good music, I feel. And that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest problem that we have as an artist is the short attention span of users. You need to have a 10-second clip of your track to go viral. Creating that 10-second clip is being predictable. And being predictable for me means there is no room for creativity. And please, don't get me started about all the tracks that are just over 2 minutes long. And the thing is, if I look at my popular tracks on Spotify, all of those tracks are just over the 2-minute mark. They aren't 3 minutes, for one exception then, but that's not my point. The point is, I'm also the problem. We all as artists are doing the same thing to get noticed. And the thing is, if it doesn't have a hook, if it doesn't have that gimmicky thing, if it doesn't have a stupid dance that people can dance to, like this, then it doesn't go viral. And that means that artists that create tracks that are meant to be a story are often pushed to the sidelines. And that's really something I am not rooting for at all. I didn't even scratch the surface what the impact is on artists, their revenue, because that's massive as well. And that's a little bit far from where I want to go with this video, but that's for another video. I think I can make an hour-long video about ranting about how bad social media is for us as an artist. But I'm not going to do that, obviously, because I want to be positive and want to be kind, but I don't want to get banned on TikTok, to be honest. But yeah, that's just me. Let's focus on the good things that TikTok has, because TikTok and social media as a whole isn't going anywhere. This video will be biting my ass when TikTok gets banned, but still. There are dozens of artists that got their fame because of TikTok. Look at artists like Bunt. Look at artists like Mau P. Look at artists like Riordan. Look at artists like Zerp. I can go on and on. And that's really the point that I'm trying to make. Let me be clear. First, it starts with their good music. Secondly, people are using their songs for their own videos. And thirdly, or is that even, I don't know if that's a word, but still, they made TikToks. And for instance, I think Bunt is a really good example of creating an audience. You can really see what kind of community he created with his TikTok. And just look what he's doing right now. He's selling out shows in places where people thought, this could never be a venue. It's a boxing arena. It's a pop-up store. It's this, is that. And Bunt also have 6 million monthly listeners. And the other thing is, he released independently with TikTok. And the trend of independent artists releasing by themselves is something I root for. For me, I started releasing independently as well because of TikTok. Artists discovered that labels get a huge revenue. And I'm not talking about 5% or something. Sometimes it's even 60% of your revenue. And when you're doing it independently, of course you have some work to do, you get almost 100% of the revenue, depending on the deals you have with the distributor. Because of this independent artist trend, you can really see there are still real artists out there. There is still real music, you know. If you want to discover new music, you don't listen to the radio. Back in the day, when you wanted to discover music, you go to a record shop. You go through all the vinyls, all the CDs, or you go to LimeWire. There's also That's also a big part of my youth, you know. And the thing is, people don't know where to search for the music anymore. They don't know it. The tracks that go viral are commercial. But I think going viral isn't your main goal. The main goal that you need to have is building an audience, creating a community, and you can do easily with your social media. This is a hot take maybe, but being an artist never changed. I even think being an artist is even easier nowadays than back in the day. Because back in the day, the label had full control over you. They decide what kind of tracks you put out, they decide how you're gonna put it out, and they decide what kind of shows you get. That's not happening anymore. You can release independently. You have the world at your fingertips with just one TikTok, one social media post. Get this, even just a simple thing like spit on that thing, hot ta. That could make you famous and it could make you a career. Being an artist has always been about having a presence. And nowadays, it's all about a social media presence. And I think we need to embrace the fact that if you want to be an artist, you need to have a social media presence. Notice this what I say. If you want to be an artist, if you don't want to be an artist, social media or stuff like that isn't for you. But don't whine about that you don't getting booked. Because nowadays, people want to see artists. They don't want to see just a DJ, or they don't want to see just a producer that had a hit. It's all about the connection you have with your audience. If you want to sell tickets, you need to be an artist. And I get why people hate on creating content for your social media. I get that. Because creating content is cringe. It is cringe. Do you know how cringe it is when you are recording a video and somebody opens the door? I do. I died many times before. Or how the young people will say it, min 1000 aura. To be completely honest, I don't know what I just said, but I asked my Gen Z sister what I should say, and she said min 1000 aura, and it sounded cool. So, what's up, cool kids? How's it going? And the thing is, when you make a lot of content, eventually you will overcome the cringe, sort of. And you can see the fun thing about making content. For me, I like making content. I like to do a little bit more than just making music or just DJing. I just want to make content that people like and what I would watch as well, because that's also important. You need to make things that you would watch or that you would listen. Because otherwise, why would somebody else listen to it or watch it, you know? And after you made a lot of content, you will notice what works for your audience and what would not work for your audience. And therefore, you don't need to listen to every social media guru, because your audience is so much different from what his audience is. If you notice what kind of audience you have, just look for the posts that work great for you and try to develop a little bit more about that. And to be honest, I'm really curious what you guys think of it. Let's discuss this in the comments, and also let me know if you like this kind of content as well, because I really wanted to do a sort of video essay on my thoughts, and I want to do this a little bit more than only creating music and putting out stuff like that. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.
You need to subscribe to Tim Hox on YouTube, or you're going to die.